Hi everyone, I'm Jody and this is the Welcome Mat Yoga. I'm here at the Fort Mill location of 8th Limb Yoga and I'm ready to do some restorative yoga. So let's get comfy. Today I want to talk to you about something that has completely transformed my life. I do believe it can do the same for you. It is restorative yoga. These days, it seems like we're always running around, we're stressing, worrying about work, kids, family, whatever it may be. We're always working towards something. This can lead to physical and mental exhaustion, leaving us drained and burnt out. But what if I told you there's a simple solution to help restore your mind, body, and spirit? Restorative yoga is a form of yoga that focuses on relaxation and rejuvenation. Unlike other forms of yoga, it doesn't involve intense physical postures, but rather gentle and supported poses that allow your body to completely relax. It's the perfect antidote for our fast-paced, demanding lives. So through restorative yoga, we can release tension, calm our minds, and improve our overall well-being. Helps lower our stress levels, reduce anxiety, and even improve our sleep quality. Who can not use that? So restorative yoga also teaches us the power of slowing down and being present in the moment. And in a world where everything is moving at lightning speed, this practice encourages us to pause and reconnect with our breath, our bodies, and our inner selves. It's just a chance to let the constant pressure to perform simply be, let it go. So I invite you all to join me in incorporating restorative yoga into our lives. It doesn't need to require a lot of time. Just find a quiet and comfortable space, 1 or 2 blankets, yoga blocks or eggs, books work if you don't have them, and just let yourself surrender to the poses. I'll be your guide. And I promise, at least I hope, that after a few minutes of restorative yoga, you'll feel refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to tackle anything that comes your way. So let's make your self-care a priority and give your minds and bodies the rest that they deserve. And that way you can take care of yourself and do your best work, whatever that is to you, whatever that means to you. So thanks for listening, and let's do some restorative yoga. So before we get started, let's just go over what you might need for your practice. I already mentioned that you might need some blocks or yoga eggs. Those are fantastic. I don't happen to have them here today. A couple of blankets, towels, if you don't have any handy, will do. But nice big Mexican blankets are always what we find are the best, but any kind of thing will do. And we may even get into using a yoga strap. And if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a tie from a bathrobe or a necktie. So why don't you just take a minute, gather your props, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, do you have all your stuff? Let's get started. I'm going to start by sitting on the edge of a blanket. I'm going to take my blanket and take it behind me. And I'm going to sit on the edge of it just to give myself a little bit more length. And I'm going to come into what we call Sukhasana, nice easy pose. So that just means finding a comfortable seat. You can sit crisscross applesauce like this. If you need to extend your legs out a little bit more, that's fine too. So let's just start here with a few nice deep breaths. Maybe relax your eyes closed and begin to focus on your breath. So get comfortable, wiggle around a little bit, find a nice comfortable seat, relax your shoulders, and find a little length in your spine, and just be easy. Your hands can just rest on your thighs. Relax your eyes closed, or just a soft gaze down the nose if that's not comfortable for you. We're going to start today with a few deep breaths. Nice deep breath in through the nose And exhale, release a couple more times like that, just softening into the pose. We're going to start with a nice box breath. We're going to take 10 rounds of breath. Deeply in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, breathe in, 3, 2, 1, and out for 3, 2, and 1. Keep your eyes closed or slightly open and keep going with this breath, counting to yourself, breathing deeply. And as you settle in, you'll start to hear some sounds around you. Keep breathing, knowing that they're not distractions, they're not disruptions. They're simply what's happening around us as we sit with our breath. Keep going with that breath and begin to notice the mind as it wanders, jumping from thought to thought. Just gently guide your attention and focus into the stomach or the chest. As you breathe in, feel them rise, and breathing out, feel them fall. Continuing this practice, observing the sensation of the breath. A couple more rounds if you need them, noticing if the mind wanders, release that thought, and return the attention and focus to the breath. A couple more rounds, breathing deeply, relaxing, breathing in, and breathing out. Always guiding the mind back to the breath, canceling out the noise in your mind. And once you've completed your 10 rounds of breath, come into a nice natural rhythm of the breath, but keep observing how you feel. Letting go of expectations or judgments of your practice. We're just going to be sitting and breathing. Stay steady. Nice natural breath, breathing in. Feel the stomach rise. Breathing out. Feel the stomach fall. Restorative yoga is about learning to be comfortable in stillness. Knowing what it is to just sit and breathe. Let's get started. We're going to start with some nice seated sun salutations just to gently warm up, and then we're going to take our poses. So let's just start by stretching out. Nice deep inhale. Reach your arms up to the sky. And exhale, bring your hands into heart center. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach, and soften your shoulders. Exhale, take your hands down through heart center. 1 more time. Take up a little more space. Lengthen. Maybe gaze up at the palms. And exhale, hands come down. We're going to add in a twist. Inhale to reach the arms up to the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to twist over to the left. So take the right hand outside of the right thigh, and we'll take the left hand behind the back body. I'll turn around this way so you can see me. And take a nice deep inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, let's just take a little twist, gazing over that shoulder. We'll hold here for about 30 seconds or so, relaxing the shoulders. If it doesn't feel comfortable for you to turn and gaze over that back shoulder, just keep the gaze forward. Just gently wringing out the internal organs. A couple more breaths here. And then we're going to relax into the back body. I'd like you to lift your left arm straight up to the sky. Take a breath in again. And exhale. We're going to reach that left hand over for the right thigh. and just bow the head down. Relax here. Take a deep breath in. Eyes are closed. Exhale, soften everything. Find release in your shoulders. See if you could widen out your back body. And just find some release in the back of the neck, softening everything. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Keeping the chin to the chest. Let's slowly unwind. Crown of the head is the last to rise. Go nice and slow. Let's unwind. Reach the arms back up. We're just going to take that right into the other side. So take your left hand outside of that right thigh. We're going to use that right hand as a gentle second spine just to find a little more length in the spine. Nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, soften the shoulders. And just check out how the neck feels on this side. And just soften. Maybe just taking the gaze forward. Maybe it feels okay to look over the shoulder. Just let everything melt down. Noticing if the mind wanders. Focus in on the chest. Focus in on your belly. And feel them rise and fall. Make that your focus. And let's come back to that nice rounded spine. Keeping the left hand just where it is. Reach the right arm up. And on the exhale, just take it across your body. And let's sink our head down, chin to chest. Maybe you find a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Just let it all release. Maybe it'll feel good to rock the jaw side to side. Find some release there. And just sit and breathe. About 10 more seconds here. Let it all release. Beautiful. And then let's tuck the chin into the chest. Slowly rise. Crown of the head is the last to come up. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to the knees. Let's just take a couple of seated cat-cows. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, rounds the back. 2 more like that. Gently inhale, lifts the chest. And exhale, hollows the belly. Again, inhale, gaze up any amount. And exhale, bring it in. Beautiful. Let's move on. All right, from here, we're going to come into our first pose using some more props. So for this one, I am going to stay seated on my blanket. And sometimes I like even to sit on a block. This could depend on how big your bolsters are or pillows that you might have. You'll probably need 2 or 3 depending on how far you go into it. And do remember that these are restorative poses and we're not looking for the big stretch. We're not looking to grind and really get into the giant stretch. We want to stretch and then relax. So staying seated on your blanket or grabbing a block, we're going to extend both legs long, have a couple of bolsters or pillows handy. We're going to just take our legs out long and flex the feet. Just be comfortable here. You don't have to drive your legs wide. Just be comfortable here. And if this is hard on your hamstrings, you are welcome to take yoga blocks or eggs and just relax them under your knees if that's more comfortable for you. You can change it up as you go. There's no rules. Once you're in the pose and if you feel the need to change it up, then you go right ahead. This is your practice. So I'm going to take 2 bolsters and stack them over my legs that are open. I'm going to gently flex my feet. See them pointing up to the sky. We're not just all relaxed yet because we want to find a nice stretch here. So let's reach the arms back up to the sky just like we did before. Reach, reach, reach. Feel your sit bones connected to the mat. Maybe reach a little bit higher. You can gaze up. Take a deep breath in. Feet are still flexed. Look, my toes are still pointed up. They might fall off of the camera in a minute. We're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just come on down. Fold over your blankets, your pillows, whatever you got. You can relax your hands down to your sides. Maybe stack the hands. Maybe make fists with the palms. And rest your head there on the fists. If you need another bolster, or maybe a block, maybe put a block here. You can rest like this. But we're going to be here for about 4 minutes. So get comfortable. So take another breath in, and on the exhale, oh, look, my toes are falling out to the side. My head is supported, and I'm relaxed. Let's be here. My timer has started. Remember, you always have the option to move and shift a little bit to stay comfortable. If you're resting your forehead down, maybe it might feel good to take a cheek down. If you do that, just make sure that you take a moment to switch sides so everything stays even. You had taken your cheek to either side. This could be a good time to switch sides. All right, we're just about done here. You want to slowly start to wiggle the toes. Tuck the chin into the chest and slowly lift your head. Take a couple of breaths before you come out. And then slowly begin to just place your props aside, whatever you had used. And Before we move into our next pose, let's just take the hands behind us. Give yourself a little bit of support. Fingers can point away from you. Bend one knee, take the sole of the foot to the floor, and the other, lean back, and let's just rock those hips side to side. And the knees side to side. Find some looseness in the hips. I never mind a little glute massage when I'm down here doing this. Enjoy. Nice. And then let's just come back. And we're going to come forward. Take the hands out in front of you. And let's move into a tabletop position. So, if you have your blanket here, let's just move it out of the way. And we're going to come into tabletop. Stacking the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Just take a round of cow-cat here, or two. Nice. And we're not going to be here long. We're going to come into a child's pose. Okay, so for our child's pose, let's just come back to a seat really quickly. Grab hold of your blanket and open it up. And we're just going to roll it up into a hot dog. You may decide that this isn't for you, and that's fine. But we're just going to try just to see how it feels, because you might like it. So we're going to take it across the back of the mat, about where your ankles are going to be. So for my child's pose, I'm going to rest the top of my ankles on the blanket. I'm going to grab hold of two of my bolsters and rest them out in front of me. You might want three, you might want one. Everybody's flexibility is different. Today I'm feeling like two, so that's what I'm going to go with. I might change my mind. You can change yours too. I'm going to take my knees out nice and wide. Get comfortable for a second. And I am just going to extend my body and give these bolsters a hug. I think I could do that. Let's go. So, knees wide. Oh, this feels good under my ankles. And I'm just going to rest my chest down. I could take my arms out to the sides. I'm not going to come all the way down. I don't want to muffle my mic right now as I'm talking, but you can imagine just taking the crown of your head down, forehead to the bolster, whatever you might have. If you want to take your cheek to the mat and rest it down there, go right ahead. I'll tell you about halfway when to switch. And let's just relax here. Another option, now that you've been here for a few seconds, maybe you're not comfortable with your arms. If you want to grab a block and put it on each side of your mat, you can relax your forearms down onto the blocks. Remembering if your mind wanders, back to the breath. Keep breathing. And if you have to think about something, think about how you're calming your nervous system right now. Child's pose can be a very introspective, meditative pose. Try to look inward. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly. You took your head to the cheek. Maybe switch now. We'll be here for a little bit longer. Just Stretching out our hips and ankles, knees, stretching out our back. Relaxing our internal organs. About 1 more minute here. Keep your focus, stay relaxed. All right, we are slowly going to come out of this. So if you had your hands on those blocks, gently remove your blocks out of the way. Tuck your forehead down. Take your hands, place them underneath your shoulders. And let's gently just push ourselves up through a seat. Move your bolsters, pillows out of the way. Take your hips over to either side and gently release your bottom down to the mat. Remove the blanket if you had it over here. And just set it down, and we're going to move on to our next posture. But before we do that, just sit for a moment and have a couple of breaths. So now we're ready for our next pose. We're going to take Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So I'm just going to move over to the center of my mat, take my blanket with me, just scoot on over, and I'm going to unroll, refold my blanket, and I'm going to sit on it. And I always like to sit on the smooth edge. So come to sit. And we've had our knees bent for a little while now, so let's take a forward fold and stretch them out. Maybe give them a little bit of a wiggle. We took them out wide before, and now we're going to take them in. So, sitting on the edge of your blanket, giving you just a little more height, a little more length in your spine. Some of you, this might be very easy to just take the backs of the legs down to the mat. Some of you might like a little bit more support underneath your knees. If you have blocks, you can place blocks underneath. Remember, they have all different heights, so find the height that works for you. Yoga eggs are really fabulous for the shape underneath the knees right here. If you have those, I would say to use them. Or you could even roll another blanket up, find that hot dog again. And I am very messy hot dog. Going to place that underneath my knees because it feels good. All right, now my knees have a little bit of support. But before we fold, we do want to flex our feet, and that way we want to get into our deepest form of the fold and then find our relaxation. So, have a block handy if you want it. We are going to take 1 or 2 bolsters and just place it across our legs. I'm going to use 2. And before I fold, I want to try to feel my sit bones underneath me. My feet are flexed. I'm going to reach my arms up to the sky. Find really nice long length in my spine. And on the exhale, I am just going to rest. Relax my hands down. and take my head down. And we are going to be here for another few minutes, setting my timer. Now this might just be great for you, just like this. You might love just resting like this. If you have trouble taking your head down, you can stack your fists again. You can take a block or something else and just rest it here. Maybe your hands aren't comfortable. This is why I told you to grab a strap, one of the reasons. So I'm going to grab my strap over here, necktie, bathrobe tie, whatever you might have. Unwind it. And I'm going to wrap it around my feet. And I'm not looking to jam into the stretch. I just want some support. So maybe wrap my hands around. And I am just going to use my hands to gently wrap myself down. Breathing through. Keeping your mind focused on the breath. We're going to slowly come out of this pose. You have the strap around your ankles or your feet. Gently release it out to the side. Chin to chest. Slowly rise. Use your hands as you need. Take a moment before you do anything. Just let your back body settle. Notice how you feel. And then let's take our stuff out of the way. Toss your bolster over to the side. Your hands back. Let's find that little glute massage again. Rock side to side. Release. Keep the eyes closed. Notice how you're starting to feel. Going inward. Poses, these folds really help your fight or flight. Getting into your nervous system. Letting everything relax. Beautiful. Let's come back through a seat. And we're going to make our way down onto our backs. So let's gently take everything out of the way. I'm getting a little mess going here, but that's okay. Moving everything out of the way. And we are going to come into a supported bridge pose next. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. We're going to take it reclined. So let's grab a block or two, probably one will do. And we're slowly going to make our way down onto our backs. So scoot your bottom into the center of the mat, take your feet in front of you, and just ever so slowly take yourself down onto your back body. Knees are bent, soles of the feet to the floor. Maybe rock side to side. And then just draw those feet in. Try to get them close to your thighs. Doesn't matter if they touch, it's fine. Grab hold of your block, and we're going to take it on the lowest setting. That's what I recommend, but the block has different settings, and you're welcome to do whichever one serves you. This is restorative, and I believe that the lowest is the best for me. So I'm going to press through my feet and just gently lift my hips up, just enough to gently slide this block underneath my sacrum. That's that bony part of the lower back. It's nice and flat, and rest my back body down onto it. Now this should be comfortable. If you feel tension, then try to adjust your block. I'll show you another way to do this pose in just a minute if this really doesn't work for you. Now, once you're here, you can rest your hands on your belly. Maybe take the left hand to the heart, right hand to your belly. Maybe this is enough for you. Maybe you'd like to relax them out to the sides. Maybe reach them overhead for even more opening. That is up to you. You can extend one leg and then the other, which is a very deep stretch, but you can find comfort here as well. So that's up to you. So find what works for you and close your eyes and stay there. Now, for those of you that really know that this is not for you, I'm going to show you a different way to do this pose with a bolster, a little softer. So if you're happy, stay right where you are and close your eyes and work on your breath, and know that my voice isn't a distraction. It's just what's happening around you as you breathe, right? Okay, so those of you that want to change it up, I'm going to take the bolster long way behind me. All right. And I am going to come and I'm going to take my bottom onto the back or the very edge of the bolster towards the bottom. Take my feet down and I'm going to use my elbows. Slowly come on down and rest. Breathe here. Now this variation that I have has my neck off of the edge of the block. If you have any kind of neck issues, this may not be for you. So you can take another block or a block and rest it underneath your head. Hold right here. Or if you don't want that, you can scoot further down, release your back off of the mat, just your bottom off of the mat, and sit back. Relax your head and just find some release this way. Either way, you're getting a bend into the back one way or the other. Breathing through. Close your eyes, and we'll be here for just about 2 more minutes. You lay here, maybe part your lips, take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Find softness in your facial muscles, in your jaw, space between your eyebrows. Just a couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, we all might be in different positions. If your legs are long, bend one knee and then the other. Nice. If you have a block underneath you, gently press through your feet. Lift the hips up and take the block out from underneath you. If you're laying on the bolster, you could either come up onto the elbows and push yourself up, or just roll over off of it. Use your top hand to push yourself up through a seat. And we will all come up to a seat, removing anything you had from underneath you. And we are just going to take one more stretch on our backs. So I would like you to grab your strap or whatever you are using as your version of a strap. We're going to stretch out our legs some more, our hamstrings. So grabbing hold of whatever you're using as your strap. Slowly, slowly make your way down onto your back. You can keep your knees bent. Settle in here, wiggle around a little bit, pick the hips up, set them back down again. And we are going to take our strap. Don't hold it over your head. Don't drop it on your face, okay? Don't unwind it there. Be careful. So we are going to keep the left foot planted, extend the right leg up to the sky, take your strap and just wrap it around the center of the foot. And use both hands around each side of the strap and slide your hands down until your elbows touch the floor. If you're up here, you might be more likely to try to jam your leg down. We don't want that. This is restorative. We're relaxing. So we're just finding a nice comfortable stretch. Your straps are taut, but not super tight. We're not jamming. We're just looking for a stretch. So relax those elbows. Nice comfortable grip with the hands. You can hold right here. Close your eyes. And if you want to gently draw your leg in slightly more, go for it. But be in a relaxed state. A gentle bend in the knee is fine. Your knee might even be bent. That's, everybody's hamstrings are different. So check in and just see how you feel. And you do have the option to possibly extend that left leg long. That might work for some of you. It may not. If it doesn't work for you, rebend that knee. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Make your breaths long and slow, letting everything be slow and soft. Before we switch sides, we're going to do 2 more stretches with the right leg. So from here, I'd like you to take both straps into your right hand. Still keep that elbow on the floor. Take your left hand and just rest it on that left hip crease. Again, this left knee can be bent. Maybe your leg is long. Okay? And I guess I should have told you this already. Hold the strap with your left hand for a second. And maybe take a bolster or a block out to your side. You may need it, you may not. We are going to take that strap back into the right hand, elbow down, reset. And take a breath in. And on the breath out, release the right leg out to the side, any amount. Maybe it comes down onto that bolster. Maybe not. Just use that strap for some support and make sure that your left hip is staying down. Just encourage that opening. Close your eyes and breathe. If you think a block underneath that foot would be better, maybe 2 blocks, you can do that. If I was there with you, I'd be happy to do it for you. We'll be here for a few breaths. One more deep breath in here. And exhale. Nice and slow. Without tugging, let's bring that right leg back up to the sky. All right, we're going to switch again. The left hand is going to hold the strap. I'd like you to see if you could take your right arm out into a T, so it's shooting straight out from the shoulder blade. And we're just going to roll over onto the left side body and take a little supine twist. See if you could relax that right shoulder and just rest that right foot over to the side. If you want to place a block or a bolster underneath that right foot over to the side, you are free to do that. Relax your eyes closed, and possibly the gaze comes over the right shoulder. If that's not good for your neck, take the gaze back up to the ceiling and close your eyes. Enjoying this nice stretch. Letting everything relax. Letting gravity do all the work for you. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale, release it. And then let's nice and slow draw that right knee back into the chest. Coming back onto the back body, release your strap out to the side for just a second. And let's just draw that right knee into the chest any amount. Hands interlaced around the shin or maybe around the back of the thigh, whichever is better for you. Let's just take some circles in both directions with that knee, drawing it in towards the shoulder. Just thanking the knees for working. They don't always have to. All right. Maybe a full body stretch in between sides will feel good. Let's do it. Lengthen both legs. Reach through the fingers and the toes. Extend. Oh, wow, my right side feels a lot different than my left. So before we take our Shavasana, let's do the other side. Take your strap. Right foot to the floor if you want to start there, or leg can be long. That's up to you depending on how flexy you are. And foot around the strap, or strap around the foot. Both hands to the strap. I'm tugging. I don't want that. Let's relax. Slide your hands down, forearms, back of the forearms to the floor. Well, those aren't forearms. Those are my triceps. For triceps to the floor. Let's draw it in nice and easy, and then find softness. Relax your hands. Make sure they're not tugging. And let's find all that softness that I talked about before in the face. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Relax your facial muscles and your jaw. Breathe in. And your breath out softens everything. A few more breaths here. Now we're going to find that release out to the side. If you want to hold for a little longer, you are welcome to. Taking that block or bolster out to the left now, if you want it. You're going to relax that left foot over to the side. Take that right hand and rest it on that bony part of your hip crease. Just leave it there for encouragement, awareness to keep that down. And we're just going to let that left leg come out to the side any amount. Open up. Breathe here. Take about 5 more nice deep breaths here. Breathing into any area of tension, let it soften. And then when you're ready, let's reach that left leg back up to the sky. And we'll switch the grip of the hands. Right hand is going to take the straps. Left hand comes out to a T over to the side. And we are just going to let that left leg fall over into a supine twist. Coming onto the right side body. Taking the gaze up to the sky or over the left shoulder. Take 3 more nice deep breaths here. Deep breath in. Fill the left ribs. Exhale, release. Again, feel the left ribs widen. Feel them expand. Exhale, release. One last time. Deep breath in. Ribs widen. Expand. Exhale. Releases. Beautiful. Let's come back into center. Take a bend in that left knee, releasing the strap. Let it go. Hands interlace around the shin, around the back of the thigh. Draw that knee in. Let's just take a few circles. Beautiful job, everybody. Take a moment. Thank yourself for showing up. Let's draw the right knee in to meet the left. And give those knees a hug. Thank them again for working for you. Rock side to side. Maybe take the hands to the kneecaps and draw some little circles on the ceiling. Massage out that sacrum. Going in both directions. Tiny little circles. Nice. And then widen out your knees. Keep your hands on the kneecaps. And let's make those circles bigger. Rock around the edges of the sacrum. Pause anywhere that feels good. Rock around on any tender spots. Most of us have 1 or 2. Oh, I could always find a spot that needs something. Beautiful. All right. We're going to come into Shavasana. So before we do that, we're going to roll on up to gather all of our yummy props that we're going to use for Shavasana. And then we're going to take rest. So if you want, roll on over to your right side, tuck your right arm underneath your cheek, and let's just pause in the fetal position for a moment. Resting the head on that top arm. Take a moment, notice the heart beating in your chest, and thank it. Thank it for doing all the work for you so effortlessly. And then take your left hand in front of you and use it to push yourself up through a seat. Let's gather all of our goodies for our Shavasana. Remember, you might get a little chilly in Shavasana, so if you have some socks and you want to put them on, go ahead and do it now. I don't have any because I am in North Carolina and it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside right now. And I don't need that. So I'm going to move my strap out of the way. I would like a blanket, of course, because it always gets a little chilly at some point. I am going to take a bolster. I'm going to take it across the bottom of my mat and put it underneath my knees. I'm going to take my other blanket or pillow, whatever I have, and I'm going to use it in a traditional way of a pillow. I'm going to take my blanket, lay it across me however I want it. And these are all options. Your Shavasana is your own. This is what I find comfortable. If you have something else that you know works for you, then you do that. So the whole point is to rest. So come back down onto your elbows. Lay your head back. Rest your hands to your sides, a comfortable distance from your body. Take your feet a little wide. Rest your toes out to the side. Take your hands at least as wide as your ankles. Maybe wiggle around a little bit. Get any of those last little shakes out. Relax your eyes closed if you haven't already. Notice the point of contact your body has with the mat. Let them weigh heavy. Notice all the little crevices in between those points of contact with the mat. Feel that energy running in those crevices. Let them support you. Breathing. Softness in your facial muscles. Softness in your jaw. Part your lips. Tongue off the roof of your mouth. Breath in. On the breath out, I'd like you to soften the space between your eyes, space between your eyebrows. Soften your mind into Shavasana. Quietest few minutes of your day. You deserve them. Take rest. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Breathe in, breathe out, long and slow. The most important part of our practice is now, immediately after. When you realize that quiet stillness, the peace or calm that you might feel. For most of us, this feeling is quite different from how we felt just about an hour ago, or even how we might feel an hour from now. It has everything to do with your own mind and your own mind's reaction to the flow of life. Ever so slowly, draw one knee in and then the other. Maybe giving the knees a hug or taking one sole of the foot to the floor at a time, rocking side to side. Remove the blanket from over you if you have it, or roll on over to the right side again, and let's pause in that fetal position again. Resting your head on that top arm. Observing how you feel. Feel the heart beating in your chest. Thank it for working effortlessly for you. Always doing all the work. We think we're working. It's the heart doing the work. And only when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed or a soft gaze down the nose, slowly make your way up to a seat, finding Sukhasana, that nice easy pose, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Make your spine tall, make it proud, feel good. Sitting here, what can we realize from the practice of yoga with meditation? I think we can realize that life and things happen, and then we react. Then more things happen, and then more reactions. It's never ending. But the question is, how do you respond to everything that happens in your life? How do you stay calm all the time? What we're working on is closing the gap to where we feel the way we feel now, that bliss, being closer to how we want to feel always. And once we stop trying to change and control everything outside of us, and we work on changing our minds, our hearts, and how we react to the world around us, you might find life gets a little bit easier, a little more peaceful, a little happier. Yet ultimately, nothing has really changed except our minds. So restorative yoga, it's a beautiful thing. Use it for your advantage. It's always with you. You don't need me to do restorative yoga, although I love seeing you. You could do this at your desk if you need to. Close your eyes, take that twist. You could take a minute. I'm Jody, and this is the Welcome Mat Yoga. I teach at 8th Limb Yoga in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and also here in Fort Mill, South Carolina. If you're ever in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, we are just south of the border. So come on down, take a class with me. This is the Welcome Mat Yoga, and I am Jody. Check me out on Instagram at jodyfair1122. And you could find all my happenings, a link to my site at 8thlimbyoga.com where you can get my schedule. Otherwise, I really hope to see you soon. I post videos just about every week or so. So please come back and always welcome yourself to your mat. Have a fabulous day.